Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, soca time. Absolutely love this type of feel on drums. Shout out to channel member Steve who was asking about this. Soca is a Caribbean calypso type of feel, and here's an example of the sort of thing I'm talking about. That type of groove, man. Now, clearly, I'm not from the Caribbean. I just love playing this type of rhythm. I'm not saying the three variations I'm going to give you here are the most traditional or authentic or anything like that. But they're just three that I love to play. I like playing them to soca music. I also love just using them all over the place when it's time to entertain people with a solo or something of that sort. When you want people to move, it's an amazing groove to have up your sleeve. And I actually think this feel and its influence on like modern pop music is pretty undeniable as well. I find myself playing these sort of grooves, you know, when I play with like function bands on gigs, when it's things like, you know, Shakira, like Whenever, Wherever, or like that song by Anne-Marie called Ciao Adios, and like hundreds of other songs as well. Even if the original didn't quite feature like a soca, I often just sort of put it in there because it just seems to be one of those grooves that, to my ears, just brings everyone together. And there's very few people, if anyone's even close to feeling like dancing, if you give them that'll normally do it. I feel like that's one of those grooves that'll get people together. So three little variations here that I like to use. They all feature the bass drum 4 on the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They also all feature the snare drum playing that soca pattern that you hear, which is 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So the snare is on the of beat 1, like the last 16th of beat 1, and then it's on the and of beat 2, and then the same in the second half, the of beat 3, and the and of beat 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and 3. In the first variation, we're going to play a disco style hi-hat. So we're going to play straight eighths. We're going to open on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like when you're playing a classic disco groove, like that bit from Miss You in grade 2 Trinity, right? Or 100 other disco tunes. So that feel, but obviously with the soca snare drum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and here comes the snare drum. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, Like I say that, I feel like that's a groove that'll just keep people dancing all night. You're done, man. If you can play that, you're done. Just give people that. They're always going to be happy. But two other variations on that. One which I really like, which uses a kind of often uses like a finger control kind of thing, if that's one of the things you're working on, which is to play the same thing, but play 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and on the hi-hat. This is a variation you hear a lot. So 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 E and, 2 E and, 4 E and. You're getting that hi-hats going 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. With the snare drum 1 E and. I find that particularly useful if it's a slightly slower tempo. I just feel like it fills it out a little bit. Having said that, it does work at a faster tempo too. Might be a bit of a roast to keep that going all the way through the number. You've got to feel confident in your hi-hat hand. keep that going all the way. But that's a ton of fun. And the last one is actually just to switch it, going back to eighth notes here. One variation I like to use is to actually, rather than opening up on the and, which I guess is like the classic version, open up on the beat. So instead of going, the hi-hat that is, rather than going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as a variation I quite like to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that would give you 4 and 1 and 8. So sometimes, is it that Shakira song? I think I do this. I'll very often play disco style, like in the verses. I'm going a bit fast. And then when the chorus comes in, go 1, 2, 3, 4. Open up on the beat instead. So I'll recap them all real quick. First variation and classic version, 4 on the floor, disco style hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and snare drum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Second variation, exactly the same thing, but you're playing 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and on the hi-hat, typically using your fingers to help the stick along there rather than playing it all from your wrist. And third variation is back to eighth notes on the hi-hat, but opening on the beat, on the numbers instead of on the ands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a ton of fun, man. Absolutely love it. Shout out to Steve for asking about that. Obviously, like all these styles of music, you can go deeper and get into it. But I just feel like that's, if you got those up your sleeve, man, you're going to get everybody dancing. Again, great in a traditional, so to speak, soca setting, but also just brilliant when you want to get people dancing, man. I think people kind of expect a samba a little bit. Nothing, sambas are great, but people kind of, that's the one sort of, I don't know, like not, if you're on a pop gig, that's the one sort of pop rock groove people kind of expect to hear. And just this Caribbean thing can just not catch people by surprise, but people often hear that like, wow, that really sort of moves people. I think the response people seem to give to that groove is pretty much universally positive, I would say, on gigs. So yeah, I hope that's useful. Shout out to Steve. Like I say, thanks for watching as always. Really appreciate it. Please like, share and subscribe. If you do subscribe and you want to get a notification every time I upload a video, which is most days, please click the little bell icon. And thanks to Steve and all the amazing channel members who now support this channel like crazy. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It's completely changed the game of running this channel and making these videos at this point, and hopefully you guys are getting a ton of value out of it as well. This is via my Buy Me a Coffee support page. Somebody messaged me today saying, what's that? I don't know what Buying Me a Coffee is. So Buy Me a Coffee is a platform, a bit like Patreon or any of those others, where a creator, which is I guess what I am to some extent, you can support the channel or whatever the creator is doing and get things in return. That's exactly the setup. So as a channel member for £10 a month, you'll be supporting this channel, helping it grow, allowing me to spend more time on it and so on. And I massively appreciate that, of course. And in return, you get a whole load of stuff, including a customized practice plan. We'll check in for a complimentary Zoom session or even a face-to-face if you want to come up to my studio in Cambridgeshire in the UK. And we'll put together for you a customized, personalized for you practice plan based on how long you've got, what you want to achieve, where you're at, all that stuff. And you can also get a load of other features, including access to future sessions. Or another thing I've been meaning to say, actually, people have been asking me, what's happened to Zoom lessons? Well, what's happened is, I'm happy to say, I've been completely swamped with inquiries for those sessions, which is amazing and mind-blowing. So I've had to take the decision for the Zoom sessions to be a channel member feature to give the channel members a fair crack of getting in for those sessions. So that's what's happened to them. They are now a channel member thing. So if you become a channel member, you get your complimentary Zoom, and then you can book future Zooms at the channel member rate if you want. And then a whole lot of other features, including members videos and things like transcription. So the transcriptions for these grooves, and like sort of I tend to use Groove Scribe. If you've seen that, the sort of practice along Groove Scribe versions, I'll post that on the members page, and you get a little email, in fact, as a member every time that happens. So supporting material for the videos, ongoing drum support for you, so you can message me questions anytime. I'll write you back, give you video responses. You can record, and loads of you guys, members, do this now. You can record your practice videos for your grade pieces or whatever you're working on. Send it over. I'll do feedback if you would like that as well, and a load of other features in the pipeline as well. So if that sounds like it would be of interest, please click the link below and you can sign up for that. I can't, again, thank people who've done that enough. It's an incredible thing, and it's so lovely working with you all in that way. And thanks for watching as always. Good luck with your Soca. See you soon. Cheers.